So hey, what's up YouTube? Beautiful Memorial Day weekend here in Michigan. You know, today I want to talk about the people in the Philippines. They're not your friend. They're just acquaintances. You know, stay tuned for this. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jim. I'm married to a Filipina. We live on Negros Oriental. I got 4 stepkids that I love dearly. And, you know, I was sitting here, I had watched this one video, and at the same time, you know, I was thinking, you know, all the little mistakes, and, you know, you got to remember, here I am, born and raised in the United States, beautiful Michigan, and I basically pack up, shut down the business, and go head to the Philippines. And it didn't work as planned. And one of the most major things that bugged me down there, and I'm not going to get into the brownouts and all the, you know, the roosters and stuff like that, was just meeting a true friend and being able to communicate in English. Because any of you that are down there now and you're dating a Filipina, you're probably going through the same thing. And here, before I go on, I want to explain something here. You know, I'll be 54 years old this week, and I was thinking, how many true friends do I have here in America? And I can maybe count 2 that I could really consider a friend. You know, I had a guy that used to work for me that I considered a friend. I got to know his kids. He went through a divorce, and there was times after work we would go hang out at his house. We'd work hard, get the grill going, swim in the pool after the hot days, and I consider him a friend. Until one day, he asked me, and this was, I stopped hanging out. It was just too far of a drive, and then obviously we were over there, back in the day, you know, having beers, and I was done with that. And he asked me for money. He says, "Hey, Jim, I think it was 7 or 8 house payments behind, and he asked me for money, you know, to catch up on him. He was going to lose his house." And so I said, fine. I loaned him the money. I wrote him a check. I remember it was like $7,800, and I didn't expect it back. You know, deep down inside, I knew, like, am I going to get paid back? We'll see if this is a true friend. Well, lo and behold, he never paid me back. The day I wrote him that check, he never came back to work. And then he had the balls to show up maybe 2 months later. He found me in one of the subs we were working at. And I think he had been drinking and was asking about one of his guns he left, like an air gun. And I supplied all the tools, and I just told him, you know what, get off the site, get out of here. Well, come to find out, he was using drugs. So, you know, true friends. Well, you know, in the Philippines, what I've noticed is, you know, that lack of communication. Because if any of you are dating a Filipina, they speak English, but there's different words. You use the wrong word, they take it in a different context. And I can't come up with any right now. Like I said, I'm uncut, but you people that are dating, you know, you already know, which is fine. You know, it's 2 different cultures. It's fine. But, you know, there's been a couple times where we've stayed at some hotels when we're down there in Dumaguete, whether we're visiting the oldest daughter in college, and where, you know, I get bored. I tell Dexa, let's go to one of the restaurant bars, and you see another expat, and then it's one beer after another, and it starts off good. And then about 3 or 4 beers in, he starts bringing up about this investment and this, and I'm like, look, I'm all set on my investments. You think I'm going to give you money? I can invest my own money. You know what I mean? It's real simple. You know, with Ameritrade, Robinhood, Fidelity, to buy stocks right online when the stock market's open, you know what I mean, and transfer money. You know, there's a lot of scamming going down there. what I've came to terms with is it would be nice, you know, I see guys down there where they meet, and I ran into a group where, you know, they drink coffee and they talk. And I'm sure there's a lot of good ones, but you got to remember there's a lot of bad ones too. Just a heads up for some of you that get down there, because, you know, when you get down there, you're going to have that emptiness. If you're not with a Filipina and you're by yourself, I mean, you got to talk to somebody. But if anybody starts asking about money, run from them, because there's plenty of expats down there. And, you know, I was thinking about that because I got a story. And I still consider, you know, he's an acquaintance. You know, I enjoyed his company, and, you know, we met, and he was forcing kind of like, hey, I have this thing you can buy, and it's just my relatives didn't want to work. They could make money, so I bought it. And it was where you roast the chickens. You know, you can put a shitload of chickens. We have it at the house now, but when I thought about it after I bought it, I probably bought it. It was used, not very old. You know, I think they only used it a couple times, and it sat for a year. And after I bought it, I was like, crap. You know, I almost wanted to get my money back because I was doing more research, and I could have bought the same thing or had one built for cheaper. You know, I've ran into a couple people where they've, I mean, you only know them about an hour, and they'll talk about how much money they got and this and that, and I'm thinking, why you just, I don't know, the people I hang around with, we ain't talking about money. And then, oh, I got to hit the ATM, and they'll pull that crap like, oh, there's no ATM and money in the machine. So I'm thinking, well, then walk down to the next one. You know, we're down there in Dumaguete where there's a shitload of ATMs. But he was, you know, there's a lot of broke expats down there that play scams. And there's a lot of good expats down there too that don't. This is for some of the people that might not know better, you know, that have a good heart. And it's easy to get taken advantage of, you know. You know, I had a guy, and I'm not knocking people that go sit at the bar and drink, because I had a guy that worked for me, Richard, and his nickname obviously was Dick. You know, once the guy started drinking, he turned into a dick. But I still love the guy. I still put up with him. Man, he was a hard worker. He ran a crew for me, and up until when he slipped off the roof and got hurt and was out for about a year and a half, shattered both his heels. But, I mean, it's evidence. Guy drank every night. I mean, a lot of beers, 18 beers easy or more. Got up, was never late, and could run the guys and made the company decent money. That was actually a guy too that, you know, never borrowed money, never asked for money. Even though he started drinking a little bit too much, he turned into a dick. I still consider him a friend, you know. It's the people that, real friends aren't going to ask you for money. Just remember that. You know, once in a while, maybe after, if you know them and you're in a foreign country, after a year or 2 years goes by, you know, things could happen. Maybe they went through a divorce, they're this or that. You kind of know the guy, you've seen his banking, you know that he has money. You can get locked out of accounts, but you got to remember, these guys that scam, they're good at it, or they think they're good at it. They think they're good at it, you know. Like I tell some of them, you got to be better than a fifth grader. Come on, you know. But I've had it happen, you know. Like I said, I get to the Philippines, I'm active. I do a lot of stuff in one day. 15 months, I got a lot of stuff done. I visited a lot of places. I've talked to a lot of people. There's times I didn't sleep good. I could wake up at 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, after a 2-hour nap, and I tell my wife, pack a bag, and we're heading to a different town. San Carlos, Dumaguete, all kinds of places. We just pack up and leave. I like to explore. So obviously I run into a lot of different things that can happen. I meet a lot of different people. But anyways, it's just something to think about. When you're down there, you know, here in America, how many true friends do I really have? Not many. But, you know, in America, I'm busy. I stay busy. I don't really need them. I'm at that age where I get up in the morning, I do what I want to do, and, you know, work, talk to my wife, and just live life. You know, life is good. Life is good. And you guys got to remember, too, some of those videos, like I said, it's uncut. I'm actually one of the happiest persons in the world. Life is good here, but sometimes when I do the video, I got to get my mindset into that. So for some of you, if you think I'm angry, I'm not angry, but I'm just a little bit disturbed because I got to relive it. And I'm like, man, you know, I can remember the hard times in the Philippines. I mean, it's so vague. It's so vague. But the biggest thing is communication, having that expat community. So I get it where people are down, you know, they go to Dumaguete or Cebu. So you can be around the other expats. That is smart. That is smart, because I remember sitting there so many times in the house going, oh my God, what am I doing here? You know, what am I doing here? Lord, what am I doing? I should have processed my wife's visa and just got her to America and we could travel back and forth. You know, but it's too late now for the stuff that happened in the past. If you guys are interested too, like I said, my wife's got a channel. You can check the link below. In a couple days, she'll be putting out a video. I sent her down to Dumaguete to go to, her and my little daughter. They're staying in a hotel there, one of my favorites. It's cheap, 1,600 peso, beautiful pool. She just told me they cut out breakfast. I guess they're struggling, and I don't know why. The place is beautiful, serene. Like I said, 1,600 peso. That's just for like the 2-bed. You got the nice shower, TV, aircon. But they have, they got monthlies, yearlies. I've seen a few, there's quite a few expats that stay there where you got the rooms, like maybe they got 1 and 2 bedrooms, and you got your kitchen in there. Just a beautiful place. Great lady. They got a great workout room. She's Filipino. She had worked in America for quite a while, and then she came back there to retire as she was building that little resort. And it's right there. I think it's right down the road from the, it's called Ayan's Place. Anyways, Ayan's Place, and I love it because it's inexpensive, it's clean, serene, beautiful landscape. You know, we've been to a lot of the other resorts, and I just can't justify them. Paying 50 or 100 bucks just because it's got 2 or 3 pools. The pool that she has is, oh my God, it's incredible. And like I said, whenever I can try to help somebody else out, you know, I'm about saving money. For me in the Philippines, I like to explore, do things, stay busy all day if it's not raining. And so staying in a nice hotel for status is just not me. Something clean, serene. But anyways, Ayan's Place. You can look it up on Google. You can check out my wife's channel, but it won't be posted for a couple days. So anyways, I'm going to enjoy this Memorial Day weekend. Just resting. Got work tomorrow. And we got some news on the court case. I'll have a follow-up tomorrow. He did go speak with the judge and the prosecutor. So we'll see tomorrow on the final decision what they're going to do. So anyway, stay tuned and have a happy Memorial Day weekend.